Hey guys, hope you're doing well. It's Christmas Eve, 2022. I can't believe it. I just want to share a little something from my devotions. I was reading today in Proverbs chapter 24, and I read these words: "Do not rejoice when your enemy falls, and do not let your heart be glad when he stumbles." One of the things that I care a lot about and share about is culture, and that includes politics. Anybody who gets deep into any of my material, you'll know that I talk about things like progressivism, I talk about current events, I talk about issues that are happening. And one of the big things the Lord always is challenging me on, I'm always praying about, is the tone that I take, especially with people that I think are pushing for things that are unhealthy for our country, that are maybe not even just not aligned with God's way of doing things, but are actually actively opposed to it. And there are many, many examples of that alive and well in our culture today. And one of the things that's tough about doing that, to be honest with you, is that there are times where, for me at least, I look at some of the things that people are doing and saying and pushing into our schools, into our lives, and it's hard not to sometimes get angry about it. If you're like me, you know what I'm talking about. There's a lot of anger in our culture right now because the issues are so big, so important, and some of the things that people want, frankly, are just so wicked, right? So the challenge that I'm talking about for me is how do you talk about these things and yet at the same time not turn these people into your enemies? Do you know what I mean? It's easy to do. You look at what they're doing, what they're saying, and you forget what Paul said in Ephesians, that we don't wrestle against flesh and blood. People aren't the enemy. And even more so, it's especially if you get in the echo chamber of the online world, or if you're on Twitter, or if you're, when you see someone make a mistake, or you see someone stumble, or you see someone fall, literally maybe falling up the stairs on the way up to the Air Force One, right? There's memes about this stuff. It's so easy to laugh about it and to want to see other people fall. But a person of wisdom, according to Scripture, is someone who understands and hopes for the best for everyone. I tell you what, if we as Christians can do that, if we can find a way to speak truth, to genuinely stand up and say no to what's false, to not to give in, or to give ground to things that are bad or wicked or evil, but do it in a way that's like Jesus, a way of love, a way of truth. And Jesus sometimes spoke truth in a very pointed way, especially to religious leaders. He called Herod a fox. Remember that? So we're not talking about being mealy-mouthed, milquetoast pushovers, but we want to have a heart that genuinely longs for every person to know the love of God, for every person to know Jesus and love Jesus, and a heart that genuinely loves people even when we disagree with them. I'll be the first person to raise my hand and say I don't do that perfectly, but I want a heart of wisdom. I've been thinking about wisdom because tomorrow on Christmas Day, if we have services, I'll be sharing about the wise men. So I guess that's my little word of wisdom today from my devotions. God bless you guys. Christmas is such a beautiful time. I hope you have a wonderful time with your family and friends. And God bless you. We'll see you. Bye.